OFM is dead. And I'm here to tell you, unless you change your strategy, your stance on the business model, and your approach entering into this business, you're going to get left behind, okay? You are going to get left behind by the people that actually take this business model as a whole seriously and who have a bit of a different approach in order to gain success. Now, don't get me wrong, if you are a model watching this, do not worry. I said OFM is dead, OnlyFans management. You as a creator, you are safe. In fact, you are entering into a business model that is the fastest growing industry in the world. And there is no better time to start or get involved or go all in on the business now. Grow your brand, present your story, monetize your audience. You are going to kill it. But for the people entering into the OFM space, or you're already involved in the OFM space and you're wondering why you're not getting results, why you're unable to scale, it's because your approach to the business is completely wrong. In fact, what you are as a manager really is what, a quarter of the actual job? And that's why people get the term OFM completely wrong. Because they think, oh, well, you know, I'm the manager, I tell you what to do, you do it, and I get X amount commission from your hard work and efforts. Well, that's not the case. In fact, it's completely different. Now, I completely separate myself from the OFM term, the OnlyFans manager. And I like to call myself a talent economy specialist because that's the business that we're in. We're in a talent economy. We're not in management, we're in marketing, we're in selling, we're in brand development, brand building. There's so much more to this than just management. So if you enter into a business and you enter into a partnership with a client and you're only providing 25% of the service, this is going to cause bad results, bad reputation, left in the dirt, client leaves, you've got no income. And that's what I've seen so many times. In fact, time and time again, and I would argue it's the reason why OFM is failing, and it's the reason why OFM is a lot harder to get involved in. Because people are entering into this space with that mindset, they're getting a client or two, they're doing what they think they should be doing, and they're not getting any results, okay? They're entering into this client's livelihood, this client's business, and they are ruining their reputation, they're ruining their brand, they're ruining their income, their livelihood, and the client leaves. But the client doesn't just leave and then go to someone else because of this whole negative experience. They then think that that's what all management people are like. That's what all agencies are like. That's the basic service I get. Well, it's not worth it for me, I'm going to do it myself. But in actual fact, from being in the space for as long as I have, there's only really a handful of people, a very small pool of people that can actually bring on a client, scale a client, get tangible results, build long-term partnerships, build long-term roadmaps for success, and actually get that success. Most of the time, people are coming in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, ruining relationships, ruining a page, ruining a brand, and it's caused such a negative stigma on the OFM space. So, to alter your approach and to change your dynamic entering into these partnerships, I'm going to go through what you need to do within this talent economy in order to gain success. And first things first, you need to understand that you aren't the manager, okay? You don't have the final say. In fact, you are entering into a business partnership with this OnlyFans client. Because like it or not, the person whose OnlyFans you're looking to partner up with, they are an entrepreneur for their own business. They run their own business. Their OnlyFans is a business. Like it or not, it's sales, it's communication, it's brand building, it's marketing, it's funnels, it's so many big attributes that every other business in the world has. It's all just like OnlyFans. And OnlyFans is just like all these other businesses because it's business, it's money, it's customers, it's the same thing. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner you can adjust your approach, okay? So you need to understand that you are entering into a partnership with these clients. And it's not a case of you telling them what to do and they doing it. It's a case of working together collaboratively with that specific client. Now, I've currently got over 25 clients and I've worked with maybe nearly 100, okay? Some of them worked out, we've gone separate ways, fair enough. But that being said, every single client is different. Every single client wants their brand to be presented a certain way. Every single client wants their chatting to be a certain way. Every single client feels comfortable doing one social media platform and not the other. So for you to come in and do a plug and play strategy based on the client and based on what you know, you're going to get left behind, because some of that works for model A won't work for model B. And that's why you need to build your approach differently. You need to speak to the client directly, understand how they want their brand to be presented, understand what type of content they're comfortable producing, what social media platforms they're already existing on, and then create a tailor-made strategy based around that. Because like I said, this is a talent economy and you want to be making money off the talent. Well, the talent is only going to be motivated and ambitious to do that work if they feel that their brand is being presented in the correct way, if the content they do aligns with how they want their brand to be presented, and that way you're going to get the winning ticket on consistent content and good quality content. So working closely with your client for long-term success. Okay, remember, you're not here for the next 2 weeks, you're not here for a month. This is a long-term partnership. And to do that, you need a long-term roadmap on success. Okay, yeah, it may not happen today, it may not happen tomorrow, but based on your client plan, based on your roadmap, you are able to achieve success by X, Y, and Z. If we do X, Y, and Z now, we start doing baby steps, and step by step, we achieve our goal, okay? So you need to understand and make it clear to these clients that this is the goal. We want to grow and scale your brand. How do we do that? Well, I want you to tell me, what are you happy with? Okay, perfect, you're happy with this. Here's some suggestions on how we can blow up using this, okay? You've currently got on YouTube, okay, this is what we can do to blow you up even more on YouTube. Okay, you're currently on Twitch full time, perfect. We can get you on streaming on Twitch, we can help monetize the funnel, we can then get a clipper involved to repurpose all that content on clips and reels and YouTube shorts. You need to be the captain in terms of the direction and the marketing and being proactive. So many agencies come into the space and they think they don't have to do anything. It's the model's responsibility to do the work, do the marketing. Well, that's not how it goes. You need to be proactive in building that brand, scaling that brand, gaining more attention, gaining more eyeballs, because with that more attention, you scale their socials and monetize all of that audience through OnlyFans. So you're going to get more subscribers, you're going to get more money, and you're going to get more opportunities. The bigger you are, the more opportunities are going to arise. So you need to understand and change the dynamic of this space, okay? You are not a manager that tells the client to do X, Y, and Z and expects them to do it and you don't have to do anything, okay? It's no longer good enough to give them a content plan to follow and whack on 24/7 chatting, because that's going to maintain your client at what, 2-3K a month max? If you truly want to scale, if you truly want to enter into a business partnership with an OnlyFans client and want to see big success, and I mean big success, hundreds of thousands of dollars every month, like we're doing with our clients, then you need to think bigger. You need to think more creatively. You need to develop the systems to allow that to happen. You're not going to do that yourself, but you can employ employer 1, 2, and 3 to do that job, employer 1, 2, 3 to do that job. They're going to combine their efforts to contribute to the overall success of the business, whether that's brand development, brand growth, repurposing content, uploading to new social media platforms. You need to be an anchor point in how you develop and drive traffic to these clients' pages. Otherwise, you're going to get left behind. And like I said, you're going to go into these partnerships thinking you're the manager, thinking you're the A side, and then that client is going to leave. And that's where the whole negative connotation around managers comes from. And that's why I tell people, OFM is dead. I'm not involved in OFM. I'm a talent economy specialist. And you, my friend, unless you start doing a similar thing, unless you start adjusting your approach and working harder and being the business partner that the OnlyFans client deserves and wants in order to really get that brand growth, you're going to get left behind and you're never going to achieve the high numbers doing 6 figures per month, okay? That's as simple as that. So with that being said, that is everything. OFM is dead. Reposition yourself, readjust your offer, readjust your strategies, and start lapping the competition, because like I said, the talent pool is low in terms of actual good quality agencies. Make sure to be part of that small pond where people actually get results.